It's do or die for your San Antonio Spurs. Let's preview Game 6. Welcome back to another episode of Spurs In Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Amazon Podcast. The list goes on and on. The Substack, Spurs In Focus Substack, completely free. Sign up right now. I am your host, Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. What are we talking about today? Well, yeah, you guessed it. Game 6, do or die for your San Antonio Spurs. Simple. Win, force a Game 7. Lose, your season's over. We're going to get into that. How can they handle? Will this young team be able to handle a do or die situation? Any adjustments? What are we watching out for? And a prediction. Will there be a Game 7 or not? Let's bring in our guest. By the way, he's all the way from Star Labs, everybody. Probably working on, Doomsday, studying him, maybe trying to clone Superman. Let's go bring him on the stage. He is Mr. James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. He is on X at I Am Pledger. And I hope I'm not taking away too much of your time from Star Labs, buddy. I mean, you got the word.
Figure out the Speed Force, my guy.
Imagine having the Speed Force. Can you imagine owning that power? That'd be just incredible. Incredible. Pledger, we got a Game 6 on deck. It's pretty simple. Spurs win, you survive another day. You lose, you're done. Do you think this young Spurs team has what it takes to force a Game 7?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's at home, so that's in their favor. But it's tough the way that you saw last night go. Obviously, you start to see tired legs, tired bodies, the missing of De'Aaron Fox and Dylan Harper for periods of time that have strained the minutes of others, especially Wemby, like with how little they put Luke Cornett on the floor for. Like, it's definitely taking its toll, but I mean, this is a team. It's got a day of rest, recovery, try and get ready for a Game 6 and force this thing back to OKC, where in Game 7, anything can happen.
Yeah, Steph Castle, after the loss out in OKC, he felt it was simply just the Spurs not making shots. I disagree with them. I think it was a lot more than that. It was allowing the Thunder to get clean, open looks from Kane to Caruso to Williams to Chet. I mean, the list goes on and on. The defense was suspect throughout the game. And here's the thing: prior to Game 5, Pledger, we saw in Game 3 and Game 4, the Spurs came out charging. I mean, they popped them in the mouth twice in a row. You saw that a little bit the other night in Game 5. They just couldn't sustain that. And I think you're right. Does it feel like this team is starting to gas out?
A little bit. I mean, it's been a long season. It's probably as long as the season plus a double overtime game in the first game. Like, I mean, this is as long as a season as any of these guys have ever played. Wemby, Castle, Vassell, like none of them have played this much basketball in a season before. So that's a lot to ask. Fixed minutes have gone up exponentially in the playoffs, which you start to see why. Maybe they were limited during the regular season as much as they were, knowing that, he was going to have this increase coming. But, I mean, there's no excuses for what's going on. I mean, there's reasons and excuses, right? And two things can be true at the same time. You can be making a reason for why the Spurs lost Game 5 or Game 2, and there can be excuses, and they can come off kind of in the same vein. I mean, I don't like to be the one to complain about officiating, but there is a lot that Oklahoma City is allowed to get away with in situations, especially on Wemby, which is part of the exhaustion. I mean, they are allowing a physical play against Wemby that they just aren't allowing against the Oklahoma City Thunder players. And the Thunder players, they're crafty. They're veteran. They're savvy. They know how to draw fouls. You've seen the cut-ups of, I believe it was either Williams just coming to the top of the key, stopping, not
Oh, yes.
getting contacted, falling down, and
Yes.
drawing a foul on Castle. I mean, it's a lot of these calls are egregious to an extent. Um, I I'm gonna let the review part where the ball went off Chest's foot kind of go because I don't know if Mitch tried to call a timeout first and then challenge, but he was obviously trying to challenge. We don't know if he was trying to get the timeout in first, but I mean, it's just the rules. But it it feels not even
Yeah.
when you're talking about the physicality the two teams are allowed to play with at times, and wholly uneven a lot of the times. And so I don't want to make an excuse. You have to adapt to the effect. I mean, that's just part of basketball. The calls aren't always going to go your way and you've got to adapt. But it's getting kind of bad when you talk about what you're seeing on the floor at times and what Hartenstein, Chet, um, Alex Caruso, all these other players Dort get away with
Sure.
when the Spurs are getting ticky-tacked out of a game a lot of the time. And it gets Castle in foul trouble. It got Keldon in foul trouble the other night. He ended up with 5 fouls. Castle with 5 fouls early in the fourth quarter, which obviously affects your minutes and how long you can keep them on the court because it's tough to keep Castle on the floor for the entire fourth quarter, knowing he's got 5 fouls and want more, no matter how it goes. Tiki tack warranted an actual foul. There's just there's a lot that goes into a lot of these games, and I hate to break it down specifically on the officials. Look, the Spurs aren't hitting shots. Wemby wasn't great in that final game. He also didn't speak to the media afterwards, which is, I believe, first, where he's just kind of not done his media obligations, and we don't know why he didn't. So there was that. And you could tell this series is taking a toll on the Spurs, physically, mentally, both combined, and it's wearing on them. And you can see it in their play. Wemby's not closing out the same in these last few games on the perimeter from the paint as he was early in the series. And part of that is he's playing 40 minutes per game, and he hasn't been asked to do that throughout his career, and they've been saving him. And when you get an influx of minutes like that, it can be detrimental. Plus, the physical toll this series is taking on his body is also exhausting, I'm sure. And the credit the Thunder too. They did a great job. Everybody loves to go to the, hey, just Wemby, get in the paint. Like, it's easier said than done. They did a really good job kind of walling off the paint to Wemby to where, unless he kind of started his way down there, and if he did, there's 3 bodies on each post and at the top of the key or the top of the paint where he's kind of starting to post up. Like, they're coming from every direction now. So credit Oklahoma City and the defense and what they're doing to keep Wemby out of the paint. But now it's on Mitch to adjust and find a way to get Wemby involved and more touches in spots down low where he can be effective.
Yeah, 15 touches in game 5 for Wemby. It's not going to cut it. Not going to. That's all he had for the entire game, 15 touches. Now, look, this is one thing that we talked about preseason, regular season, heading to the playoffs is, do the Spurs have reliable outside shooters? And so far,
I felt like we wasted a Champagne game last night.
Yeah, I thought we was going to go nuclear. I said, oh, here we go. This is exactly what they need. And then he fizzled out. I mean, he had a good stat line, but he needed to be more consistent. It's not to say the Spurs don't have shooters, just they don't have consistent shooters. That's the issue. While the Thunder, they have reliable shooters from McCain to Caruso to Dort to Williams. to a certain degree, Chet too, and SGA, they can create that space. Spurs haven't been able to do that. And you're right about the physicality. I mean, Isaiah Hartenstein is just mauling Wemby every time, just banging him, pushing him, MMA moves on him. Seriously, it's wild. And you could see mounting, especially in the last game 5, the mounting frustrations with this team. You see it. I mean, I flashed a picture of this team. I mean, look at this. This was actually during game 5. This was their body language for the most part. Yeah, that was it. That was their body language for most of the game right there. James, is there also a little bit of what we're seeing, just lack of that inexperience on the big stage?
I mean, yes and no. I mean, there's inexperience, and you see it at times. The turnovers have been kind of the big red flag of that. But at the same time, you credit Oklahoma City's defense and what they're doing and how they are attacking, stopping ball, whether it's Harper or Fox or Castle, the way that they bottled up Wemby at times and managed to force him to play further out and take more steps to get into the paint to be effective. And it's difficult. They've got to find a way to get him initiated lower, closer, faster. But there's at times too where this team looks like it's playing at a breakneck pace where it needs to kind of, I don't want to say slow it down because they play at a fast pace, but they're playing faster than even normal, which seems to be an issue at times.
Yeah, they're you could tell usually when the game is going to go possibly OKC's way. In the first half feels super slow, and the second half feels kind of fast, like or vice versa. Like whoever controls that seems to really win. And look, I don't think the Spurs cannot not force a game 7. I think that's the best case scenario right now. But the numbers don't lie, Bludger. And you look at this, the level of competition and how they have to also rise their level of competition in the playoff. Versus the Blazers for the series, they were a plus 12. I'm sorry, they were a 12.3 net rating. So that's good. Against the Wolves, they were a 16.5 net rating. Now, this series versus the Thunder, currently they're a minus 2.2 net rating. So there you have it. Could it be fatigue? Could it be the competition they're playing? They are the defending champs. It's a mixed bag right now. But as far as tonight's game, game 6, I'm going to show you something here. These are what I like to see for the Spurs to get a W. The first thing I'm watching out for is Wemby's energy level. I got to see that energy level high. Sure. If he doesn't have that energy, if he doesn't have that tone-setting play, if he's not established himself in the paint, and if he's settling for face-up game from the 3 line or maybe a little inside, that's not good. I need more bench production. Again, the Thunder in the last game, how many? 20-something from Caruso off the bench. Kendrick Williams contributed about 6 or 8 points off that bench. They're getting more bench production in this series than the Spurs. Keldon Johnson played good. He had double-figure scoring, about 15. He's one of his best games in the postseason. But you need more out of these guys. And I need them to realize what is at stake. It's their season. It's the possibility to force a game 7 and let the chips fall with May. I think in the last game, James, game 5, part of me felt like, do y'all realize what's going on right now? You win this game, you have a chokehold on this series. And they just let it squander. And what was frustrating for me too, James, they played a Thunder team without Joe, without Williams, and without AJ Mitchell. 3 key guys for that team. And the Spurs squandered that opportunity. I'm going to leave this up here a little longer. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd love to see, and as you refer to his energy level, I just want to see him set the tone. And whether that's offensively, as a playmaker, as a facilitator, as an initiator, whatever it may be, start inside. And if they clamp down on you, kick it out to get the pass that leads to the pass that gets to the open shot, like however it may be. But that Wemby in attack mode early is kind of what I want to see. When you say bench production, yeah, I'd like to see bench production, but a key to that bench production is Dylan Harper. I need to see Dylan Harper be the guy that everybody was raving about early in this postseason and early in this series. And it just feels like his production's kind of fallen off a bit. When that falls off, their bench production falls off. And I don't have any concerns about them realizing what's at stake. I fully expect them to realize what's at stake. So my third key for the Spurs would be finding out how to force the onus on Oklahoma City, make the refs get them in foul trouble, take it to them, attack, whether that's Harper, Fox, or Castle. If you get open looks from the outside, seize them, obviously, but I want to see whether it's Wemby or Castle or Fox. Do what this team has done extremely well. Get to the rack and make the refs, if they're going to be involved, make them call it your way too.
Yeah, so another guest we had on here brought up something like if the refs are gonna let the Thunder play the way they're playing, why can't the Spurs do the same thing? I mean, if that's the tone that the refs are setting, then match fire for fire.
But the problem is the refs aren't letting the Spurs do that.
Yeah.
As evidenced by the foul trouble the other night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just real quick, your thoughts on De'Aaron Fox. I know he's hurting right now. He, has that, was it like an ankle injury going on with him?
High ankle.
But, is it, I mean, I know you got to keep him out there. You need bodies.
It's not just the bodies, it's his presence. Like, there was a reason Castle had turned the ball over so much in the first couple of games, and we've seen those numbers go down since Fox's return. He is a steadying presence to the offense and provides some ball security for the rest of the team. So that is very, very important. And it looks like he has been able to get to his spots in the lane and get his shots. Those shots need to fall. Sometimes shots just need to fall, and the Spurs need shots to fall.
Yeah. Exactly. That's it. I mean, like you mentioned, Castle said that as well after the loss. Said, "Oh, just the shots weren't falling. That was it." But
I mean, it was more than that the other night.
Yeah, a lot more than that. But I read this the other day. I'm gonna see if I can bring it up again. But when your two star players, Wemby and Fox, combined for 29 points, that's not a good thing. It's really not. And I believe here, let's see if I get it going here. In that loss to the Thunder in Game 5, they were like in the to combine stats. They were up here. They were a combined minus 18 on the night, and not any of them, all two combined 0 for 9 from the 3 line. So didn't really help them themselves a lot. And look, I credit Wemby. He tried to rally the troops. You saw that huddle, and he's getting on the guys. But it starts with him, man. It starts with him, and he just did not have a good Wemby-like game.
Mm-hmm.
He has to go nuclear tonight, right? He just has to do what we saw in that opening game. I think if the Spurs do that, they'll be sitting pretty.
I think if he goes nuclear, it's good, but I just need him to be effective. And like I said, it doesn't have to entail him going and getting 50. He can be the initiator that leads to everything else because of the way that they've been defending him the last couple of games. But they definitely need to find a way to get him involved. And involved, I mean, whether that's offensively or him initiating or making the pass out, like there's got to be a way for Wemby to touch the ball, be effective, whether it's collapsing the defense or scoring, and make the play off of that. I just need him to affect the offense. And we always think of offense and points, but he affects it in so many different ways. And, he's been good defensively, but I need to see more defensively from him because there are times where he has, and part of it fatigue, part of it minutes, part of it just the grueling nature of the playoffs where his closeouts to the outside don't look right.
Yeah. And when you have Jared McCain scoring on him, SGA breaking his ankles, Not good, not good. Hey, what did you think about those foul hits that Plumlee and what's his name, Bismack gave McCain there? The video does show Wemby whispering something to those two guys.
No, I saw it.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Do you think he put out the hit? Put out the hit?
If he did, he did. I mean, it is what it is. But at this point, game was out of hand, and he, is probably saying, "Look, this is what they're doing to me. Maybe it's time for some retribution. This game's over. Let them feel what we're feeling."
Yeah,
And like I said, it's brutal in terms of having that to highlight the officiating, because I hate hiding behind officiating, but this is a problem in the NBA, whether it's game to game, in game, crews, whatever it is. You know what different crews do. You study them, you scout them, but the inconsistency level of foul calls, and from game to game, in game, it's something the NBA has. Like, these guys are supposed to be the best at their job, and and that goes for the Spurs too. I mean, they've gotten away with some things that probably shouldn't have in certain games, and it makes you, when you're tied to gambling, DraftKings, stuff like that, Prize Picks, all of these things, and you have sponsorships with them, FanDuel, etc. It creates a lot more questions when you see the inconsistency in officiating.
So, but
and you don't want to go the WWE route.
Yeah, you don't want to go the Hartenstein route, basically. Yeah, WWE style. All right, take a quick break. When we get back, time for predictions. Will there be a Game 7, or will the Spurs season be over?
That's who Wemby needs to be.
Yeah, exactly. And I also did it for you because you got the Star Labs logo going on. So you got Star Labs. So we got Superman in the house.
Go be Superman.
Yeah, exactly. Wemby, he better be Super. Not Bizarro Wemby. We need Kal-El Superman Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
Game 6. All right, James. Before I put a ball in this show, what do you think? There'll be a Game 7, or the season's over for the Spurs?
I think the Spurs come out with the appropriate fight, knowing their season's on the line, and you're going to get everything you can from the home crowd. The Nuns better be in the crowd again tonight.
The Nuns in there.
Everything that you can do, make it happen, because this is, quote unquote, a must win. Like we always game 1 a must win is game 3. No, this is a must win. Your season's on the line. If you don't win it, it's over, and everything, all your goals that you had set and changed throughout the season, like they all end. Yeah. And then you're looking at a long, hard off season, and if you want to be that team that bucks the trend of, you need the experience, you need to go through the battles first before you can come back. You go prove it. Yeah. Go prove that you're that team that can buck the trend. And you've got to come out with that mindset, and it's got to be early, and it's got to be an intense energy level, not just to start, but sustain throughout. Like what you saw in Game 4.
Yeah, I think what was said during the Spurs loss in Game 5. I forgot who it was, but it was a TV crew. They said the Spurs are playing without emotion. They're playing emotional. So I think the Spurs got to play with emotion. Like I said, realize what's at stake. You put that together. I think they played pretty good. We've seen them be tested in situations like this. Where you have to win, hostile territory, or playing up against some of the big boys in the NBA. They tend to prove doubters wrong. I'm hoping that goes that direction. I see a Game 7, but after that, I don't know. You have to beat this Thunder team twice in a row for the Spurs to do it, and that's kind of a tall task. And one of those games in OKC, before Game 7, we shall see. All right, pleasure.
I got a question now.
Go ahead.
Everybody's been, Mitch, you lose your temper, get mad, blah, blah, blah. Well, he did.
He did.
He got teed up. And that tee I believe, if I remember correctly, it was a 7 or 8 point game.
Yep.
He gets the tee, then the free throws, and all of a sudden you're looking at 11, 12 point deficit after it's all said and done. And that's kind of where I felt that the game got out of hand to where Oklahoma City started to pull away. Everybody's been wanting to see it, though.
I know, you're right. You're right. Everybody's been wanting to see it, but yeah, it just came at the worst time. And that's the thing. They didn't have that many turnovers too in the last game at all. They actually had fewer turnovers than the Thunder, but it just felt like they were so at the worst possible time. You know, that Champagne toss to Wemby, and Wemby wasn't even paying attention. It just bounces off his shoulder and sails off. Castle picking up clumsy and turnover, just sloppy play. It basically felt like game 3 all over again. It just felt like game 3 all over again.
The best thing about Mitch Johnson and his coaching style is he is even keeled. So when he doesn't lose it, the team can look to him for calm. And when he loses it, I don't know. It just felt like he lost it. The tech happened. The lead ballooned because of it. And then all of a sudden, it all went south from there.
It did. Yeah. Well, pleasure. First of all, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on Spurs in Focus. But before I let you go, Spider-Man Noir debuted. Have you seen it?
I have not yet. I have not.
They released like the first scene, and I think you're going to be in love.
I'm already like the trailers look phenomenal, and I'm going to want to watch it in color and the black and white version. I know they're releasing both, and I want to watch both.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'll start off with black and white though, and then I'll switch to color. But if you saw that first opening scene, you're gonna be mouth drawn. Like, oh my god, I love this! I love this. Just wish we got a little younger Nick Cage, but hey, it's still Nick Cage. Nevertheless, pleasure. You got to brag about the star, buddy.
Well, we've got you covered top to bottom. Game 6, hopefully a game 7, and then hopefully an NBA Finals run. But we'll have it all regardless, nonetheless. And of course, we're about to start the mandatory part of camps when it comes to the NFL. So will George Pickens be at those camps for the Dallas Cowboys now that he's signed his franchise tender, and what does it mean going forward? And of course, obviously, we're going to keep you up to date with everything going on through the city, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to be freaking incredible. Starts with the morning huddle from 6 to 10 with Rob, AJ, and Vic. Then, of course, the Blitz with Jason, Joe, and myself. And I'll take you home at the end of the day on Extra Innings with Pleasure from 6 to 7.
That's right. You got to follow him right now on X at I Am Pleasure. And then go check out the Stars YouTube page. You simply put San Antonio Sports Star, and then there it is. You can watch the guys. And like, I'm not kidding everybody, even see AJ in his underwear. I don't know. I don't know. Think of my shock in the morning when I went to you guys' page.
I
think of
my shock in the morning when I opened up.
It's like, what in the world is going on? Like, they did that whole pamper looking thing. They rolled it up.
I understand the AC went down over the holiday weekend, but come on.
You see the shenanigans you can be a part of or witness, or maybe you don't want to be a part of and witness.
Be a part of that.
Yeah, go to the Stars YouTube page, San Antonio Sports Star. Don't subscribe right now. Don't forget to subscribe to Pleasure's X at I Am Pleasure. Thank you, Pleasure, for taking time out of your schedule. Go back to Star Labs, man. I hear this meteorite's coming, and they steal
Sports Star Lab.
Yeah, Sports Star Lab. Yeah, something called the Doomsday is coming, so you got your hands full. You get your hands full.
Well, Doomsday coming if the Spurs don't win.
There you go. Okay, I hope we're not jinxing it with these kind of references here on Spurs in Focus. Everybody, we thank y'all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only listen for all things San Antonio Spurs. iTunes, Spotify, Pocket Cast, Amazon Podcast. The list goes on and on. Substack, Spurs in Focus Substack, completely free. Sign up right now. We'll be back tomorrow, hopefully with some good news. I don't know. Well, we'll be biting our nails all day today. So for Mr. James Pleasure, I am Jeff Garcia. And now you're in focus. There it is. The Spurs in Focus.